We're live. Not Memorex. What is up? That's bright. That's what's up. There we go. See if anybody comes in here. See if I got a good enough signal. We'll see. We'll see. Nobody. Natas, you are the first one. How about them apples? Oh man. Oh, and Natas. Shows that I'm live. Anyways. Oh, Shape of Despair. They sound familiar. I don't think I have anything by them, Natas. But are they any good?
I know I'm gonna miss them. I'm gonna miss them a lot. I'm gonna miss your Tommy, man. Like I really think you're really cool, dude, man. I wish you wouldn't go. Salty.
Well, hold on here. We're not doing a very good job on this live feed, am I? Logic Neo, clickbait. Maybe that will go. There we go. What do they sound like, Natas? What does Shape of Despair sound like? Juan, you are not first. Natas was first. Gary, what's up? Little Viking coach. No, you didn't hurt my feelings. Funeral Doom. Ah, that might be interesting. Do they have death vocals or singing vocals? Nittany Lion, what's up? I don't think I've seen you for a minute. Daniel Adami. I'm gonna miss you on Zello, Daniel. Pale Rider. Pale Rider. Thank you, Nittany Lion. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So we had, hey Jim, we had a pretty good week booked. Then I had to give a load back. One of the worst things you can hear in a Kenworth is driving down the road, all of a sudden, ding, and check engine light comes on. Just the mill light. So get to a truck stop, I look at it. It's showing two, not one, but two thingamajiggers. I thought, you know what? I better take it in. So I want to take the chance of having it repaired in Dallas. So I'm doing all right, Clyde. How are you? Draco, what's up? No, I don't, Little Viking Coach. These Kenworths, you scroll through it and it says connect service engine tool. So that means it could be anything, right? The Packard motors are a little bit tricky. A friend of mine looked into getting the software and the computer and all that. It was going to be like $2,500 investment plus a monthly or yearly subscription. And you know, they got you. And I have an opinion on this, okay? Not that my opinion matters, but you have, I guess, on April 12th, you got people that are going to shut down, right? And the reasons for them shutting down is because, you know, regulations and, you know, and all the things that are against us out here. And could the regulations and our services be better? Yeah. But I think the true enemy of the trucking industry is the private sectors. You have, think about fixing a truck, right? You have these dealerships. You have to take, you know, a lot of the trucks like Volvo and PACCAR, you got to take your truck to those dealerships. And if you think about what puts a driver out of business, well, breakdowns. So between the shops and breakdowns and the toll roads that the money's being abused, like look what happened in Indiana. And you know, paid for parking, you know, overcharging us for everything, you know, in the private sector. That's what we should be mad about, you know. Boycott the toll roads, you know, but the truck, you can't get away from that. You know, a friend of mine was telling me today that John Deere got in a lot of trouble because, you know, these third world poorer countries, you know, they get John Deere equipment and they can't even work on them because, you know, they're designed that they can't be, you know, worked under the shade tree, you know, that kind of thing. You know, you got to send some extravagant person out there to, you know, it cost out the yin yang to get them fixed. And the truck dealers, you know, the truck manufacturers have kind of turned into the same thing. You need a computer program, you need all this technology, and then the DPF systems, and, you know, all these things. You know, it used to cost like about $1,000 to put a new turbo on a truck. Now it's like 10 grand. You know, things that used to cost $500, $600 now costs $2,000, $3,000. Every time I put this truck in the shop, it costs me at least $1,000. It costs me, you know, it costs anywhere from $300 to $600 to get a service done. And that's crazy. That's what we should be mad about. You know, that's what puts a driver out of business. It's not the hours of service. It's not the regulations. Every industry has regulations. If you sell beer at a bar, you have regulations. And Crete, you're getting awfully close to me. Whoa, 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 whoa. Sorry. Get ready to tap this horn. This lady was backing and she didn't recognize that her pivot point had switched on the trailer and she was heading right for me. It's like the third time this week this has gone on. But you know, and then you got these third-party lease companies that take a new guy who doesn't have experience in running a truck, running a business, and like for a high fee you can become an owner-operator, and then they you know, they come out here with double the expenses of what you should with the learning curve, and it's a setup for failure. And you know, these lease companies, they kind of, you know, it's kind of like, remember the, you know, $100 a week places, you know, car payment places, or what is it, 25 a week places. You know, you end up paying like 10 grand for a $3,000 car. You know, it's like the truck version of that. Hey, you want to be an owner operator right now, and you don't have any money and no credit? We'll put you in a truck, and that truck note's going to be like $4,000 a month, and you know, and that doesn't solve if you have bad money management skills, or if you don't have anything saved up, or you've got no credit to pay for repairs, or no money saved up. You know, it's a recipe for disaster. Jeff Beard, there is. All right, let's go through some comments here. I wish they'd do something about shippers and receivers. I'd be happy about that, says Natas. I had heard from the old hands that it used to be a lot worse. Before regulations, it was nothing for a shipper or receiver to hold you for 10, 12 hours, and then you're expected to deliver the load. There was a couple of times when I was on paper that happened to me. Well, it sucks to be you. Still due tomorrow at 8 o'clock, you know. Pale Rider and Little White Coach are having a little discussion. Yeah, that happened to me a few months ago. Made it to a TA, then Volvo had us tow it to them. Yeah, like, you know, it's getting to the point where if it's not a Cummins or a Cat, you know, Detroit, whatever, you have to go to the dealership. Big Rig CO, what's up? Brian Ludwig, what's up? Lisa, what's up? I haven't seen you in a minute. Yukon's got skills. Jumping in to say a quick hello to Snorlord and the group. Currently at a restaurant, so I'm going to jump back out. Good night all. What you eating there, Brent? Have you seen the new Werner full maintenance lease for $2,600 a month? It's a gimmick. I'd be curious. We're still talking about Daniel. But yeah, I mean, I remember one time I took my Thermo King APU into Thermo King, and it cost $200 just to look at it. Just to look at it. You know, and the reality is we're driving depreciating assets. If you buy a brand new truck, which if you're lucky to afford that, you got to pay the federal excise tax and in hope that the warranty covers any major things that go down, but that still doesn't cover, you know, downtime, rental car if you have to have one, you know, that kind of thing. So the shutdown should address all the issues that we face, not just the regulations, not just the hours of service. It should, you know, the fact that everybody wants a piece of the pie. People see truck drivers as a cash cow. You got the brokers taking a larger percent. You got the dealerships charging $1.30 or $130 to $160 an hour just to look at your truck. You know, minimum $100 to hook it up to a computer. You know, you can't read the codes yourself, and even if you could, you know, are you going to be able to do anything about it? You know, and these are the things that you have to consider if you're thinking about becoming an owner operator. Is you're taking a highly used, abused piece of depreciating equipment, and you're expected to make money off of that, but everybody wants a piece of their pie. Just got notification. Thomas Wilson. I can't see the shopping cart there emoji. Jason Perry, what's up? My grandfather told me always lease depreciating assets. Write them off as long as you can and then move on. Spoobie. You know, that's kind of the approach Jeffrey Like did with that Volvo, and it's what the big carriers do. You know, big carriers like Schneider and Werner, they lease those trucks. They rely on the warranties to get them repaired, and then when they hit about 400,000 miles, they're out. They're done. They trade them in. And you know, like in the private sector, in a car, you know, if you lease a car, leases are designed for people that trade their cars in every 3 or 4 years, anyways. So you might as well lease and get more for your money. Trucking can kind of be the same way, but you know, people want to own the truck. They want to own the piece of equipment. And depending on who you talk to, you know, you got a person that, well, I bought a 2003 truck and it's paid off, the trailer's paid off, and I'm making a ton of money with it. And that's fine, but not everybody has that capability. Not everybody has the ability to work on that stuff. You know, you got a lot of people that bought older trucks to be ELD exempt, and that's fine, but you know, the current trucking industry business model is to get a brand new piece of equipment, lease it for 3 or 4 years, and then run the hell out of it and hope the warranty covers most of it, and then trade it in. I talked to an owner-operator at a TA one time. He told me that he does what the bigwigs do. He trades his truck in every 3 or 4 years. So, you know, Asia My Show, what's up? Asia My Show has had quite a few good videos here lately. You're in Facebook jail. Can you all start a prayer chain for me? I bought a glider, new truck, old motor. Says, man, I can't scroll through the comments now. YouTube's been ticking me off here lately. So let's see what the comments are. Good thing I got 2 phones. But Asia My Show has had some pretty good videos here lately. So give him a shout out. And I also, yeah, I can't even scroll through my comments. I also came across, a friend of mine told me about this. There's a third-party broker that has a YouTube channel. Might be interesting to some of you on the spot market. It is called Alliance Logistics. And if you're interested in being a broker, he's got some good content. Yeah, the video won't even play. Are you guys getting the circle of death? Anyway, so we had to give up a $1,700 load, and we're heading home. I was going to stay out another week, and I was doing well. I was on fire, but oh well. As you can see, the truck's shaking. I'm getting unloaded. And then I'm hoping I'll have enough hours to get back to the house tonight. If not, maybe make it to Eldon, Missouri. So far, I've got enough hours to get home. I've got a check engine light, Big Rig CO, and I don't want to take the chance. So, Cicero, Illinois. Brian Ludwig Jr., what's up? So we're not taking any chances. Truck needs to go in the shop there, Thomas. By the way, come next month, this truck will be at 2 years that I've had it. So far, knock on wood, it hasn't cost me a whole lot of money. You know, you hear horror stories of, you know, but, you know, people compare the PACCAR to the Cummins, and I've heard from several different sources that the PACCAR has actually got less downtime than the Cummins here lately, which I think is strange. I watched one of your earlier videos recently. You're killing that beard game. Your Duck Dynasty level at the moment, heading for ZZ Top. That's my goal. My goal in 2019 is to have my beard down to here. Surpass Thor. Asian Mind Show, look good, Snorlord. Keep it up, great work. I see in your face. Thank you. I feel like I've plateaued a little bit. I don't think I'm going to reach my goal of 300 before my DOT physical. But we'll see. Maybe a couple of 24-hour fasts might change that. Thomas Wilson, time to trade. Okay, let's talk about that, Thomas. When I bought this truck, the dealer told me that if I went a full 2 years without missing any payments, that I could trade this truck in and get a new one, no money down. Okay? Here's the problem with that. If I go in and get a truck, no money down, my payments are going to be through the roof. And with the unstable climate that's ahead of us, that may not be the best idea to increase my costs. You know. I could get another used truck, but would that put me in a better position? If I get another good year of this truck, then that'll put me in a position to, you know, maybe get some money down and then a little bit more in the trade-in. It has been said, Tim Gorley has said it, a very smart man, another friend of mine, a very smart man, he told me, Jeff has talked about it, but their opinions say that a new truck doesn't cost any more than an old truck. So what one has to do, in my opinion, is I have to sit down and evaluate the numbers. What kind of a truck could I afford if I did get a new one? And now, full maintenance lease. Talk about full maintenance lease. Here's the thing with full maintenance leases. If you buy, let's say you buy a brand new truck, okay? Say you got two people. They go into the Volvo dealership, and one gets a brand new truck, and the other one gets a brand new truck, but it's a full maintenance lease, right? Full maintenance leases are set up to where you have a monthly payment, and then you're paying by the mile. Most time it's between 6 and 12 cents. So let's use 10 cents to round that number, right? The guy that bought the truck, if he's putting 10 cents a mile back for maintenance, and he doesn't need hardly any of that at the end of the year, well, he pockets that money. But when you lease the full maintenance lease, you're putting that 14 cents in, or 10 cents in, and you're paying that 10 cents whether you use that money or not. So it just depends on how you want to spend that 10 cents a mile. It's a gamble. Will you ever go over the amount that you would save? You know what I mean? So I used to think that the full maintenance lease was the be-all end-all, but in reality, it's just, do you want your money now or do you want your money later? Kind of thing. All comes out in the wash. You guys dragging that trailer. And usually need some money down, and they want all kinds of paperwork. Either way, getting a truck is not easy. Buying a truck is not easy. You can have full cash on hand, go to a dealership and say, I want that one, and it still is kind of a pain in the ass. So even I got to deal with the ELD, I got to deal with my light, my portion plate, I got to deal with the property taxes, I got to deal with tax exempt forms, so I'm not in a hurry to buy another truck. But at the same time, I don't want to get in the situation I was with my Peterbilt, where it was costing me 20 grand plus the truck payments. So now I actually had a $4,000 truck note, $4,000 a month truck note, but I wasn't running like I had a $4,000 a month truck note. That's the difference. These guys at Snyder, they're running because they got that weekly payment. They're running in a way that, but when you have a $2,000 a month truck payment, you're going to run, at least a lot of people have a tendency, myself included, to run, well, I've only got a $2,000 a month truck payment. Not realizing that one breakdown can make that truck $4,000 a month. So what you have to do is you take your first year and you see how much it costs you, and then add that into your monthly payments, divide, add that amount to the amount that you paid in truck payments, and then divide that by 12. That's your true truck payment number. So if you put, let's say that you put, let's do a calculator here. So if your payments are $1,500 a month times 12, you're paying $18,000 a year for the truck. If you add $10,000 that you put into the truck in repairs and maintenance on top of the payments, 10,000 plus, what did I say, 18,000? That comes out to 28,000. So you take 28,000, 12. Now my payments were $23.33 a month, which actually isn't bad. Anybody can go out, well, not anybody, but a lot of people can go out and get a new truck, no money down, 7-year note, and your payments would be like $3,500 a month. After 4 years, that truck's going to be worn out. The days of the million-mile trucks, they're not designed like that anymore. They're not designed to get 1 million miles anymore. They're designed to last the length of time that the fleets want them, and then and then they go to guys like me. We deal with all this stuff, try to get them to 800,000, and then you trade them off before they're completely worthless. Let me go back to the comments here, since I can't do that on the screen there. Would you rather have a fully loaded International or stripped down Kenworth? I don't know. My faith in International is pretty low. But I do know a company I used to work for, Transland, that they bought a bunch of Internationals, and so far they're happy with them. But the resale value of international is probably not that great. Keep it, just start setting more aside in your own maintenance account. That's a good idea, nailed it. Like I said, I'm not in a hurry to get a new truck. Just the paperwork and the hassle alone, you know, would just be, I'm just not in the mood for it. They're getting it. The broker called me and said, hey, if they don't have you unloaded in 2 hours, you be sure to call us. I'm like, well, what about a lumper check? You shouldn't need a lumper check. It should be prepaid. Okay. Works for me. That's how it should be. But anyways, these are the thoughts running through my head as I'm sitting here. I was bored. I thought, well, I'll go live. I was talking to a few people in Zello, and I was just spewing my idiotic words. And some people acted like I kind of knew what I was talking about, but I don't. I'm still learning this as we go. And I think that's the most important part. You have to be open-minded enough to learn, you know. You gotta have a bit of patience and a little bit of luck. I got lucky, knock on wood again, with this truck. So I know another person that bought the same model, same year. Our serial numbers aren't far apart, and they've had nothing but bad luck with that truck. And you know, his family needs that truck to run more than mine does, because he's the sole breadwinner. So there's a lot of factors at play, but this whole shutdown stuff, they should just, you know, they should include everything, not just government regulations. And like I said, we are a heavily regulated industry, but I know people that own bars, they got their regulations. I know people that are pilots, they got their regulations. You know, military is nothing but regulations. The shippers and receivers have regulations that they have to follow. You know, brokers have regulations. You know, you can't just be any old Joe Schmo and become a broker. You know, it takes schooling and licensing and everything else to do that. You know, everybody wants a piece of the pie. And that's what's wrong with most of the business models these days. So, you look good, you feel good. I do feel good, man. I every now and then get a little bit lightheaded. I'll be honest, it freaks me out. But I'm looking at a lot of Dr. Berg's stuff. I went to the doctor, got everything checked out, and the next live feed I do, I'll have my blood test results that I had taken. I had an EKG taken. There was nothing going on there. My blood pressure was good. But I'm reading up on a lot of deficiencies, mineral deficiencies that could cause the symptoms I'm having. But other than that, the other day I did 630 miles and I felt really, really good. I sleep better. Lightheaded electrolytes. That's what I was told. You know, barber license, yeah. Little biking coach. So I appreciate the good comments. Like I said, I think I've hit a plateau for a second. I need to do better about intermittent fasting. But for the most part, I feel great. And I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it. Is keto permanent or will it stop? Virgo Life, you know, Little Viking Coach has done a couple of videos. Despite his parodies, he has some serious keto videos. And keto is just a means. It's not the final product. It is a way to to make your body adapt to using the right fuel. And then also it is a key to go to intermittent fasting. In other words, eating less. And oh, who's that Denver quarterback, the Christian guy? Tebow, that guy? He was on, I think, the Dr. Oz show. And he's been keto for 7 years. And you know, so, you know, I don't really have an answer for that. Annoying thing about weight loss, arms and legs ripped, no noticeable, what'd you say here? No noticeable effect on beer gut. I've noticed on my gut. I eat a lot, just less frequently. Yeah, little white coach, you know, it's like, if I do a 24-hour fast, I'm usually eating like 1,800 calories in one meal, you know. Might want to hit Mama Jean's when you're in town and check out their supplement selection. That's a good idea, Draco. Can you summarize how you got started? I'm trying so hard and nobody will touch me finance-wise. I'm so frustrated. Oh, on the truck thing? Nick Wyatt. The first step is you have to have good credit. And then you're going to need about 10 to 15% down. The worse your credit, the higher, the more money they're going to want down. So if you have a 600 credit score, they're going to want probably 20% down. And it's going to be a ridiculous interest rate. What I did is I went to Aero Trucks for my first truck, and what he did is he went through a broker that goes to like 5 to 10 lenders at once, and then you got to start cheap. It's harder to go out and get a $100,000 truck. So most people's first truck is like a $40,000 or $50,000 truck. You have a great credit score. And then a lot of it is your experience. Nick Wyatt, how much experience do you have as a CDL holder? I had to prove that I had, you know, so many years. So a guy that has only 3 years of CDL experience is going to get a worse deal than a guy that has 10 years of CDL experience. And that's where these lease companies really kind of get you, is because they'll give you a chance, but a lot of them don't report to credit agencies. So, you know, it doesn't really help or hurt your credit, but at the same time, it gets you in a new truck, but you're gonna pay for that. Del Toro, just intermittent fasting, you can eat carbs sometimes. Del Toro, the carbs that I have is like from vegetables, maybe on occasion a piece of fruit. But beyond that, I have no interest in processed sugar at all. I mean, yeah, there's some in some of the sauces I eat. There's a little bit, like I had meatloaf the other day. There's probably a little bit in there. But for the most part, I am fully convinced that sugar is linked to cancer. So I don't want any part of that. Orion, what's up? Try a light stream personal loan if you want a cheaper $50,000 truck. There you go. There are lending companies out there that want to help you get a good start. There's government grants that can help you get a start. But for the most part, you know, here's the thing, guys. Your first truck is not going to be your dream truck. That's it. You got to do things in steps. If you're a single owner operator, you got to start with the $40,000, $50,000 truck, and and then maybe you get to the $80,000 truck, and then you get enough equity, you get enough credit, you get enough stability, and then you get the brand new truck. A truck is just a tool. Did you watch Thomas Seyfried on cancer and sugar? No, I did not watch that, but I've read some articles, and oh, maybe I did watch that video, Little Viking Coach. Maybe I did watch that. And I posted an article on Facebook about that too. You know, and and think about this. You can get a fully spec'd out Freightliner for about $160,000, okay? But if you want a fully decked out, say W9, that's decked out to the nines, you're looking at $180,000. You know, or a brand new Volvo, $180,000, $185,000. That's a lot of money. You can start a brick and mortar business for cheaper than that. You know what I mean? And people forget that it's a depreciating asset and that it's a tool. I have no problem taking pride in your ride, but if you treat a truck like a hot rod, you know, you're going to put money into it. You know, the W9s and the 3.8s are higher quality built, so, you know, you get more of a return for your investment. And those trucks are built. Those trucks are still built to go 1,000,000 miles plus, right? Those are the trucks that you just rebuild the engine, you know? In my opinion, okay? My opinion is squat. I'm not an expert. But these are just my opinions. So if someone handed me a blank check right now, I don't even know what truck I would buy, to be honest with you. Orion White, 2006 Freightliner, Columbia, 12.7 Detroit, 10 speed, 900,000 miles. I will carry 50K bucks. 30% interest for 5 years. Sign right here. Oh, Ryan, you're silly. Yes, Smoothie. W9 has a resale value. So the money you lose on fuel mileage and the pain in the ass, you know, getting to some tight places with that truck, you get back. I think you can get back in that investment when you go to resale. Again, just my opinion. I think I'm empty. Thank you.
Yep, have a good one.
What's the printed name on here that I can print on here?
Who was there?
Do you know who signed this?
Where's her name at? See, I'm not sure her name. I actually just started here. It's whatever. Brooke. It's like, that's what it says right there.
Brooke. Okay. Do you know Brooke's first name, or is that?
I think that would be her first name.
Okay. Do you know her last name?
I'll say no. I can go find out for you if you like.
Yeah. Or I can just use your name. Is that cool?
Yeah, it's Devin Dickmeyer.
Devin Dickmeyer?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
All right, guys. I'm empty. Thanks for the chat. Thanks for killing my time. And, you know, I wish I could buy that truck, Daniel. I wish I could, but, you know, that would look cool in my driveway. But at the same time, I don't think I'm ready for that level yet. I still have a lot to learn about how I run my business. So anyways, guys, thank you for watching. And, you know, we'll have a live feed this weekend with my blood test results. And, you know, there you go. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll talk to you later.